Apple is the most underrated Animal Crossing villager.
Don't trust anything Apple says. She drinks.
That's my opinion!
Animal Crossing New Horizons has been a very controversial game. Some fans love it, some fans hate it. Either way, it seems like every Animal Crossing fan has opinions they want to scream from the very top of their rooftop. I asked the community to comment their most controversial, unpopular Animal Crossing opinions, and some of them were very wild. In this video, I'm going to share the best, the worst, and the most interesting takes the Animal Crossing fans have about the game. Zavman says, the whole game sucks. Don't really know how to respond to that one. Leaf Tide says, I hate the cat that everyone likes. Now, he's either talking about Raymond or Bob. If he's talking about Raymond, he's not alone. A lot of people have it out for this man. Maybe all the Raymond haters can come together and form a team. They can call it like the Revengers or something like that. Judy isn't cute. She's creepy. I like her pink and purple fur, but her eyes scare the heck out of me. Did someone hack my account? I totally agree. Terry Smith has a horrible typo. I hate dog, but I'm gonna guess they meant horses are the best. Okay. I hate Isabelle. She always criticizes me and tells me to do better. Like, come on, I'm trying my best. I don't see you designing an island and planting flowers everywhere. This is one of the most based comments I've ever read. Yeah, go off. F Isabelle. She can take her dog body and run off the island and go catch a boat. No, I'm kidding. I love Isabelle. I do not agree with this in the slightest, but I love this person's humor. The Nook brothers aren't safe either. Marlene also has it out for the Nook brothers. Yeah, okay, maybe they're a little annoying. I mean, those dudes, I mean, they're harmless. Let's be honest. They're harmless. They didn't do anything to you. I had Marshall, but kicked him off because the following. This person gave a full PowerPoint presentation of why they kicked off Marshall. Number one, I didn't know he was popular. Did that really matter to you? Number two, I forgot he was there. Number three, I honestly thought he was very plain. He is cute, but very plain. I agree, if he was an ice cream flavor, he'd definitely be vanilla. Maybe vanilla with chocolate chips, but very plain. I'm gonna have to agree with Nagito, or I guess not Nagito. Space Pastry says the eagle species in the game are all ugly. Oh god, don't tell Professor Birdbrain. They're the resident eagle stand. Swimming was the most useless gimmick of Animal Crossing New Horizons. My friends got offended. Now I know people get offended by a lot of things these days, and that's cool, but you know, offended by swimming in Animal Crossing? I don't understand. CJ and Flick are not a couple, says Woomy the person. Alright, I don't know who was saying they were. I don't know. This is an unpopular opinion, but I've never heard that CJ and Flick were a couple. I mean, they do have a beaver and bug relationship. They can tame water and trees together, but I'm not really seeing a couple. I think Isabelle is pointless. Now, from one Arianator fan to the other, girl, I don't know why everyone is coming after Isabelle today. I was not expecting so much Isabelle slander today, but it is what it is. Holiday Islands are overwhelming. I completely agree with Zoe. I mean, some of these people are acting like they are Santa the Claus out here. I mean, like, calm it down. You are not the head of the New York Rockefeller Tree Center, baby. You are making an Animal Crossing island. I think New Horizons music is the best of the Animal Crossing franchise. Honestly, people give the Animal Crossing New Horizons music a bad rep, but there's some big old bangers in there. I mean, it's a boppity bop to the top, no Sharpay. I don't understand why people hate Tommy. He's so cute, and he's pretty much the same as Timmy, minus a few differences. They run Nook's Cranny together. I love Tommy so much, and Blathers. He doesn't even actually talk that much. I love the two of them so damn much. Okay, this person is screaming on a mountain by themselves. I don't know who they're preaching to, but no one is fighting them on this. Raymond isn't actually overrated. He's rated appropriately. Well, you speak for yourself. Alright, the Roost won't save the game. They are not wrong. The cafe has way less features. Gyroids come in one size. And KK is still in the and KK is still in the way of resident services. He's like, I won't rest Animal Crossing will not be perfect until KK gets out of the front of resident services. Now that I think of it, KK Slider really does block the services way too much. Like, can he just step back a few feet, please? Some villagers just look kind of gross. And that's that. Saying that is fair enough. If a villager seems annoying or looks kind of weird, I'm not going to be super interested in seeing what they have to say. This person's like, if they're ugly, they can zip it. If they look weird, they can look the other way.
How do you know what's good for me? That's my opinion!
Shino is insanely overrated, like to an extreme level. Tom Nook gives you interest-free loans that you don't even have to pay back unless you want a bigger house with the same terms. Don't slander his name. I like Gaston. So what? Exclamation point, exclamation point. Jacques villagers are annoying. Constantly talking about big muscles only gets uncomfortable pretty quickly, so I don't like them in the slightest. And though normal villagers may be bland according to some, they're so sweet and I love them so much, especially Coco and Poppy. There's a lot to unpack here that I'll address later. Zipper is adorable. You know what? I'm gonna agree with Berry Crossing. I think Zipper's cute too. Zucker freaks me out. I don't really like him, and also, crafting is a nightmare, especially if you want to get every DIY in the game. Crafting, I do really like crafting, I think it's a great feature, but I do agree that, like, getting everything DIY is a nightmare. Cores are dumb and unnecessary. I will talk about this later. Some people get defensive at the idea of people being mean to villagers, but let's be honest, when we all know villagers were super mean, cruel, and sassy back in the old Animal Crossing days. I actually really miss when Animal Crossing villagers were mean and conniving. Now they're just kind of too nice and, you know, peppy and silly and quirky. Like, can we get some mean villagers in here, please? Alright, selling villagers. It feels weird to me, and for some reason, gives me trafficking vibes. I don't mind, not that trafficking's funny, but just, you know, Animal Crossing villagers selling them trafficking. This person made a point. I don't mind, like, one of your friends getting them in boxes, but selling them is weird. You know, I've never bought Animal Crossing Villager. I've done some random stuff with them, but I've never sold. I kind of agree with this person. I put 2,000, yes, 2,000 hours into the game and have zero interest in the DLC, even if it was free. Go off, Majora's Mask. Yeah, I touched Happy Home Paradise for like 2 hours and gave up. I told Lottie I'm going back home. No wonder why I don't have a job in real life. Okay, if you're an employer watching this, that was a joke. I'll be a great employee. Thank you. I like Tom Nook more than Isabelle, and that Marshall is super overrated. He's such a plain villager. I'm not obsessed with Nico, he's just okay. This kind of hurts my feelings. Oh wait, it's the other Nico. Bob isn't special at all. Hugh is superior. New Horizons villagers are boring and only in-game for aesthetics, which completely contradicts the reason they were put in the game in the first place. Yeah, they're pretty boring in this game. I kinda have to agree, too repetitive. The New Horizons soundtrack is absolutely awful. Sheesh. Each hour sounds offensively similar and just bores me. I mute the game at this point, which is sad, because in previous titles, I love the hourly tracks. Oh my gosh, wow. The Anteater villagers are cute. Something about their body type just catches my eye, and some of them are amazing. Citing Antonio as one of them. Alright. People who try and collect all the furniture or villagers makes the game worse, IMO. The game isn't supposed to be played by farming everything on a stream in 3 hours. It's supposed to last a while. I agree with some elements of this. When Nico can't be a villager on your island, I know a lot of people want the monkey to live on the island, but he's an NPC, I don't know. Smug villagers are awful. They make me feel uncomfortable for no reason. I don't agree with this, but this take is really funny to me. Happy Home Paradise got repetitive after like 4 houses for me. Same here. I hate that it did, but yeah, same. When I say Frank is the best cranky ever, go off, Boba Parfait, go off. Anka should not be used for internet memes. I want my villagers to be rude to me. I want them to have life to them. Even my mom gives me sass. Oh gosh. Don't neuter them to the point that they're less than a normal game NPC. Yeah, Sarah, I agree. My honest opinion, I don't like the Cap'n tours. I wish they had more detail and more story to them. Not something you randomly get. I feel like they just put them in for Brewster. Yeah, kind of true. Peppy villagers are the best. They have so much energy and I love it. Ah! You know, I do love Peppies even though they're getting a little annoying. Well, this person thinks the opposite. Peppy villagers are really annoying and repetitive. I wish they had more personality besides wanting to be a pop star and stuff. Except Ketchup, she's lovely. Ketchup acts the same as the others, so I don't think we can exclude her from this narrative, okay? I get it, some of the ugly villagers have great personality, but what was Nintendo thinking when they designed Cashmere? Dang! Drag Cashmere. As fun as the new update is, with all the items and Nook Miles achievements, it's a bit overwhelming. I understand why Nintendo dropped everything at once and probably wouldn't have been as happy if we just got medium-sized updates, but it doesn't mean I can't be at least a little overwhelmed. But I guess that means I can work towards getting certain items. Yeah, I totally agree. As someone who's a content creator of Animal Crossing, getting all of it at once was very overwhelming, and I haven't got to half of it yet. I wish they spread it around October, November, December, January. Peppy and Chuck villagers are borderline insufferable. Yeah, I mean, they have their moments for sure of being insufferable. Diva is an amazing villager, and just because her looks doesn't mean me and her aren't friends on my island. I agree. Tom Nook is a good man, not a crook, in all caps. Yes, Tom Nook is not a crook, guys. Not a crook. I like the game as it is and do not wish it to be more like the previous games. Go Ruby Chen. You know what? I like the positivity. Brewster isn't the best thing in the 2.0 update, but he still is good. Yeah, I did not expect him to be the least exciting thing about the update, but he was. Brewster was probably the most underwhelming thing to come out of the 2.0 update, with us not being able to work for him, being able to give delicious coffee to villagers and special characters. There's basically no point into visiting besides seeing him again for nostalgia's sake. Yeah, Bliss is going off. I have nothing to say in response. I totally agree. Brewster was a little underwhelming. Yeah. People who rag on other people's islands are the worst kind of players. That kind of mentality I've noticed going hand in hand with time traveling is cheating crowd, and both behaviors are honestly super gross. Let people decorate and play their own way, and you can decorate and play your own way. It's pretty simple. Look, as someone who kind of likes toxicity, no, I'm kidding. I don't really mind people saying it's cheating. I just kind of tune them out. But I agree. Just let people enjoy the game the way they want to play it. I never do Gulliver's activities. What he gives you for finding all the pieces of the communication device just isn't worth running around. Yeah, I've never done it myself, I'll be honest. Not once. Never did a Gulliver activity. Not once. Although the loans Tom Nook gives are very expensive, they are reasonable, especially since it's done in a day and has an entire island to take care of. I personally don't hate him and think he's a very good NPC. I'm loving this pro Tom Nook propaganda we have today. I'm loving it. Tom Nook isn't a bad... Oh, another one. People address him as someone who just wants bells, but really, he lets you take your time and is very sweet. And look at all the likes, too. I even gave it a little heart. It's true. Tom Nook is a very generous businessman, and honestly, you could just never pay him back, and, like, there wouldn't be anything done to you. You know, all of these people are defending Tom Nook, and it really got me thinking. They're kind of right. I mean, Tom Nook gave you a massive loan that you can pay out at any time with no interest. The only businessman who would give you that good of a deal is your father. I mean, he's like Donald Trump's dad. He's just giving us a small loan of $1 million and just see what happens. I mean, he has really given us the good deal. This man has not asked much from us, and here we are dragging him like he's a filthy capitalist, when in actuality, he's a pretty fair businessman. It's okay if some people hate villagers based on looks. Come on, there's only a few personalities. Of course people will start choosing based on looks, and there's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't make you a bad person. It's a freaking video game. I gotta give a round of applause to this comment, even though I don't like critiquing people based on their looks and stuff. This is Animal Crossing, alright folks? This is frickin' Animal Crossing, alright? This is not your elementary school. This is not your high school. This is not your college. This is not your workplace. This is not your family. This isn't your friends. These are virtual animals in a video game. Let loose and start judging. Just start that's my advice for today. Just start judging. Alright, I have some controversial opinions of mine that I want to share because y'all did a lot of sharing. It's time for me to put my input. Number 1, I think Animal Crossing New Horizons is the best Animal Crossing game, and it will go down as the best Animal Crossing game so far. It added so many new things to the franchise that have never been here before that will probably last forever. Terraforming alone transformed the game. DIYs, DIY recipes, cooking. I mean, come on now, those are just the very start of what I'm talking about. Customizing items. Harv's Island. There's so many new features from New Horizons that will come back in future Animal Crossing games, and I think we're going to look at this as the best Animal Crossing game. When the next one comes out, people are going to be like, New Horizons was great. I think they're just hating it because it's the most recent and it's easy to hate the most recent. Honestly, I bet you got the most amount of hours of any Animal Crossing game in New Horizons, and you probably would be very bored of any other Animal Crossing game by now too. Number 2, I find cores, like Kid Core, Cottage Core, to be very lazy, repetitive, and uncreative. For me, in my taste. Alright, look, if that's what you want to do, you do it, and do it till the cows come home singing hallelujah. I don't care. But you don't have to be the Oprah Winfrey of Animal Crossing. You don't have to change the world with your Animal Crossing island. You can just be normal and do this core, that core, that core. I'm not judging unless you ask me to judge. And you know what? I'm giving my opinion. My opinion is this. I think it's a little boring. I think it's a little basic. And I like it when people give their own creative ideas in Animal Crossing rather than just copy what everyone else does. My opinion. My final controversial opinion. Jocks are not that bad. They are funny. They're hilarious. Look, I get it. Jocks have a bad rep, right? People don't like jock villagers because they don't like jocks in real life. They like, they're, you know, the mean football guys from high school. And I get it. But hear me out. These animals are not your jocks in elementary school. They're not your jocks from high school. They're not your high school bully. They are fun-loving, bicep-chugging dudes. All right. I mean, they just want to drink their protein shakes and get big boy biceps. They don't care about what you do, or they don't make fun of you. They're just fun-loving and kind. I really like the jock villagers. I feel like they're really funny and people hate them too much. Hashtag justice for the jock villagers. I said it. And there you have it. My Animal Crossing controversial opinions and all of the Animal Crossing community's controversial opinions. Comment down below your most unpopular Animal Crossing opinion and see if it gets any traction in the comments. See if you get into a fun little fight in the comment section. It's 2022. Have your first fight of the year if you haven't already. Make sure to like this video because I need you to, and subscribe because I need you to, and I will do more videos like this. So have a great night and bonjour. Bye.